What is poppin' YouTube? It's your boy D, aka the Dream Driver's Legacy General, back in the building with another video. And right now I am chilling on my balcony. It's a beautiful day here in the Dream Driver's Legacy world. So I decided to go ahead, pick the camera up and get some work done out here. And as you can see by the title of today's video, I'm giving you guys 5 tips on what I would tell myself, my younger self, if I was 20, around 20, somewhere in the 20 range when I were younger, looking for advice. Now, mind you, when I was younger, I didn't have mentors. I didn't have people in my life who could give me life advice, even though when you're around that age, you still know how to make great decisions, good decisions at that age. But at the same time, when you have the bad influences or not the best influencers in your life, the best influences in your life, then sometimes we can get drawn astray. So in this video, if you are 20, around that age, or someone who's a parent of a 20-year-old or a friend of a 20-year-old, I want to give you guys 5 life tips, life advices that could navigate a young man or a young lady in their journey, in their life endeavors by way of watching this video. All right, so I have my notes in my phone. I'm going to get right into it. If you see me looking down, just know I'm using my phone. If I were 20 again, here's 5 things I would tell myself. Number 1, I would tell myself to seek my life's purpose early in life. And honestly, if you could find it earlier than 20, I would say that's great. But I would say if you're in your 20s, that's when I would say the most distractions are likely to come, because you're kind of spreading your wings somewhat. You know, you're likely to start going to the parties, going to the clubs, stretch your wings and want to fly a little bit. Those are the tender years where most of us make the mistakes in our lives, doing things, partying, hanging out, clubbing, all that stuff. We want to get it in and out of our system at that age. However, you want to be cautious in that journey. That said, if I were 20 again, I would say take time out for yourself and actually start to figure out what you want to do with your life, and also figure out what your life purpose is at 20 or around 20. This is critical when you're in your early 20s, particularly because, again, if you can intentionally remove distractions, just take some time out of your life, even if it's for an hour per day, read a book, or just tune in with your own thoughts, sit with your own thoughts and ask God, what am I here to do? Just really sit and take time to figure out what your life purpose is, because this is going to be your compass of life. This is going to help navigate you to figuring out where you want to go in your life, which direction you want to go in your life, how to prepare your life. When you're actually just being mindful of that early in your life, is going to do a large number of great things in your life when you're critical and you're taking time out to sit with your thoughts and ask yourself, what do I want to do with my life? What is my purpose in life? What direction I want to go in? Just actually sit with your thoughts and just really let it come to you. Allow God to let it come to you, and you'll be surprised the amazing things that God will do with you just from sitting yourself down, especially early in your life. Tip number 2, I would say develop a skill, especially when you're young. The more that you can build as you're young, the more that you can actually advance as you get older. Let me say that again. The more that you can develop, the more that you can build as you're young, in your younger age, the more skill sets you can acquire as you get better, which means the more that you can actually make, especially if your goal is to be an entrepreneur or actually go after something, building a business of some way, or even if you're working for a company. If you start young, you will acquire more knowledge, you will acquire more skill sets, which of course will acquire more dividends in your journey. So I would definitely say take time out to develop a skill. This right here can go a long way. We already know what happened in 2020. The importance of developing a skill is crucial, especially when we see how the future is coming with AI, artificial intelligence, and things of that nature. We already know the importance of developing a skill and how it can actually save you in certain situations, certain tight spots. I definitely would say, in general, develop a skill and do it as early as possible. The third thing that I would give advice to the 20-year-old version of me, or anybody in their 20s, I would say don't chase or track. This is important because, of course, again, when you're younger, we're in the position where, of course, we like what we like, the girls. We want to, chase after the girls, and we want to chase even after the money and things of that nature. But what I would advise you to do is put a pause on that. Figure out what you want in life and let the things that you want come to you. How do we do that? You may ask. How we do that is, again, we sit ourselves down and we figure out what we want, and we start building from within and manifesting what it is that we want from without. Let me say that again. We start building from within. We start becoming intentional with what it is that we know we want in our life, and we start building, we start constructing, we start working on our purpose, we start developing skill sets, we start to become sharper when it comes to our character. We start to figure out what it is that we want. If you want an attractive female that always works out, then what sense does it make to want that and you're not working out yourself, if that makes sense to you? So if you want a young lady that's always working out, if you want a young lady that always goes to the gym, you can't be a couch potato. You have to make sure that you put getting your reps in as well. You have to make sure that you're doing your push-ups. You have to make sure that you're doing your cardio. You have to make sure that you're putting yourself in the best position possible. You have to make sure that you're putting your best forward to attract who it is that you want, or what it is that you want, that career that you want to, one day be in, that entrepreneurship position that you want to be in. You want to make sure that you are him first. That way you can attract what it is that you want, as opposed to chasing what it is that you want or who it is that you want. Make sure that you are him and attract what it is that you want by working on you first, and everything will come along the way. If I could tell my 20-year-old version of myself to plan and invest in my future, I would absolutely do so, because the importance of planning and considering the long term as opposed to the short term success is a game changer. I thought I was going to become a rapper, and I thought that I would grow old and retire a rapper, not thinking about the fact that one day I may not want to rap anymore. It may grow old to me. One day I may want to consider transitioning from a rap career to pursuing something different. So if you're only thinking about establishing yourself in one area, or the right now moment in your life, or the right now things that you are interested in, without thinking about 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, then you could be setting yourself up for long-term failure without considering long-term success. So I would absolutely tell you to consider the long-term version of what you want to be later on down the road, as well as the things that you are entertaining in the right now moments. It's okay to pursue what it is that you're pursuing now, but ask yourself the question, do I want to do this long term? And if not, then what do I want to do long term? Start thinking about those things in your 20s, because you will benefit from it later by considering later right now. The last and final advice that I would give to a 20-year-old is the very opposite thing that I did, and it's the reason why I'm sharing it with you guys. I would advise you guys to stay away from parties. Stay away from parties. And I know a lot of you guys may say, well, this is the time for me to do it. I've never done it, or at least let me go to a party here and there. And if that's you, again, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I've done it, and I've done it to the max. And I'm going to tell you, I've been to a million parties and I've benefited from it none. The only thing that I got from going to parties was instant gratification. Of course, the fun stuff that comes with it. But at the same time, it did nothing when it comes to my pursuit of life. It did nothing when it comes to my endeavors. All it did was take away my time. All it did was put me in a position to actually have to work on my vision later. After the many times that I partied, the Mondays, the Thursdays, the Fridays, the Saturdays, the Sundays, it was a distraction. It did nothing to contribute to my purpose. It did nothing to grow me closer to being on my purpose. So I would say anything that does not push you closer to your goals, push you closer in the direction of where you want to actually prepare your life, then you got to understand that you're sacrificing time that you could be on your purpose, time that you could be working on getting better and building a better version of you. You're sacrificing that time by going to the clubs. You're sacrificing so many hours of time that you're devoting to do nothing pretty much with your life. You're sacrificing that time where you're pretty much accomplishing nothing for instant gratification, just to have fun in the moment. What are you celebrating? What are we celebrating? You're sacrificing so much with minimal gain, actually no gain, unless you're pursuing some type of career in the clubs. If you're going just to party, it's a waste of time. Trust me, if you don't believe me, come back to this video 10 years later, or if you're 10 years invested after your 20s, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But to me, I would just stay completely away from clubs and focus on your passion, focus on your purpose, focus on the things that's going to advance you. Have fun later in your life, after you've gotten to the bag, after you've established yourself. Focus on your purpose first and have fun later, party later, all right? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, make sure you guys turn on your post bell notifications. That way you guys will not miss any of my videos. If you guys appreciate my content, I appreciate all the love that we get here on the channel, on my day ones, my in-betweens, and as of now, I do appreciate all the love and support, all right? As always, do what brings life to you, and it's a great chance that you'll bring life to whatever it is that you do. You already know, rain, sleet, or snow, the goal is to hashtag grow. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Peace and blessings, one love, strength.